Have you ever walked into your kitchen first thing in the morning and felt a little heaviness in your chest? Maybe the sink still has last night's dishes. Maybe there's a jacket on the back of the chair. The counters feel cluttered, and before your day even begins, there's already a feeling that things are just a little out of control. You're not alone. I've been there more times than I care to admit. And if you're anything like me, you might have thought that a tidy home takes hours of cleaning, strict routines, or some superhuman energy you just don't have anymore. But what if I told you that peace, real, lasting peace, can start with just a few quiet minutes each morning? What I've learned, especially after turning 60, is that the calm and comfort we crave in our homes doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing less, but doing it with intention. In this video, I'm going to share 7 simple habits you can do each morning. They don't take much time. Most of them take under 5 minutes, but they have a quiet power to shift your whole day, not just on the outside, but inside too. These are not just chores. These are little acts of care, small rituals that send a message to your heart. You are grounded, you are safe, and you are in charge of your space. Stay with me until the end, because the 7th habit might just be the one that gently changes how you feel about your mornings forever. Let's begin. Habit 1. Make your bed with intention. There's a quiet kind of magic in the moment you open your eyes and place your feet on the floor. Before the phone, before the television, before the world rushes in, there's this small window of calm. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can begin your day in chaos, or you can begin it in peace. One of the simplest ways to claim that peace is by making your bed. Now I know what you might be thinking. Why make it if I'm just going to mess it up again tonight? And that's a fair question. But making your bed isn't really about the sheets or the pillows. It's about setting the tone for your day. It's about telling yourself, I care enough to begin with order. I respect myself and my space enough to start the day with something simple and done. This habit is small. It takes maybe 2 or 3 minutes at most, but emotionally, it's enormous. When you smooth the blanket, you smooth out your thoughts. When you fluff the pillows, you soften the tension in your mind. When you take the time to tuck in the edges or fold down the comforter, you're telling your body and your brain, we are moving forward today, with grace and with calm. There's something deeply comforting about walking back into your room in the afternoon or evening and seeing the bed already made. It's like your morning self left a little gift for your evening self. A reminder that you took care of something, that you accomplished something, that no matter how the day unfolded, you started it with a win. And for many of us, especially women who've spent decades caring for others, children, husbands, parents, it's easy to forget that we too deserve a space that feels cared for, a space that feels restful and respected. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, try this. Instead of reaching for your phone, reach for the corner of the blanket. Pull it up slowly. Fluff the pillows gently. Maybe even open a window for a breath of fresh morning air. And before you leave the room, take one last look at the bed and smile. Because that, right there, that is a small victory. That is you, choosing peace. Habit 2, the 5-minute gentle sweep. After you've made your bed, and after you've brushed your teeth, there's a beautiful window of opportunity, one that most people completely overlook. It's the perfect time for what I like to call the 5-minute gentle sweep. Let me explain. Mornings often start out rushed. Even for those of us who are retired or semi-retired, the mind starts racing with to-do lists and responsibilities. And before we know it, we've moved through the whole day, only to come home or turn around and notice that things are a little messy. A plate here, a coffee mug there, a newspaper left open, shoes in the hallway, jackets on the chair. Nothing huge, Just little things that, over time, pile up and steal our peace. But here's the good news. If you give just 5 minutes, only 5, to a quick morning sweep, you can gently reclaim order before the day ever begins. Right after brushing your teeth, before sitting down for breakfast, or opening your computer, walk through your home with soft intention. No rushing, no pressure to deep clean. You're not scrubbing baseboards or folding laundry. You're just restoring visual calm. Here's what that might look like. Walk into the kitchen. Put that mug in the sink. Wipe down the counter with a soft cloth. Step into the living room. Fold the blanket that's draped over the couch. Stack the magazines neatly. Fluff 1 or 2 pillows. Peek into the bathroom. Straighten the towel. Toss the used tissue. Close the drawer you forgot last night. That's it. 5 minutes. Just 5. What you're doing in that time is not just tidying your home. You're telling your nervous system, I'm in control. I can handle this day. There is order here. And you'd be surprised how quickly this becomes a rhythm. A quiet, centering ritual. You begin to move through your home not like someone cleaning up a mess, but like someone restoring peace to a place they love. Because your home is a place you love, and you deserve to move through it without tripping over things, without that little voice in your head whispering, you still need to take care of that. The 5-minute sweep is your way of answering back. No, I already did. Habit 3, put clothes away. Immediately. Let's talk about that chair. You know the one I mean. That one chair in the bedroom, or maybe in the corner of the living room. The one that has somehow become the unofficial resting place for yesterday's jeans, your nightgown, maybe a sweater you thought you'd wear again. The just for now pile. The I'll deal with it later mountain. The not dirty but not clean situation. It starts small. One piece of clothing, then another. And before you know it, that chair is no longer a chair. It's a message, one that says, you still haven't finished. Here's the thing. It's not really about the clothes. It's about the silent weight they carry. Because every time you walk past that chair, even if you don't say it out loud, your brain registers it as an unfinished task. And for women who've spent their lives juggling a million invisible responsibilities, that small reminder, you didn't put that away, adds to the mental load we already carry. So here's the habit. Whatever you put on in the morning, whether it's a soft house robe, fresh jeans, or just a new top, make a quiet promise to yourself. When you're done changing, you'll immediately put away what you just took off. Right away. Not after breakfast. Not when I come back upstairs. Not, I'll do it tonight. Immediately. If it's dirty, it goes in the laundry basket. If it's clean, it gets folded and put back in the drawer. And if it's something you'll wear again tomorrow, give it a designated spot, a hook, a basket, or even a single shelf. But not the bed, not the chair, not just for now. This small act might take you 10 seconds, but it relieves hours of background noise in your head, because every item put away is one less decision, one less nagging thought, one more visual confirmation that your space is yours and that it's calm. And here's the beauty of it. Once this habit becomes automatic, you'll notice that your bedroom never quite slips into that cluttered state. You won't need to set aside a whole Saturday to finally clean the room, because it never gets that bad to begin with. You've stayed ahead of the mess, quietly, gently, one piece of clothing at a time. Habit 4, give everything a home and check it every morning. One of the kindest things you can do for yourself, especially as you grow older, is reduce the number of tiny decisions you have to make every day. Decisions like, where did I put the scissors? Or, why can't I ever find the tape? Or, did I leave my glasses in the kitchen? Or was it the bedroom? Each of those questions might seem harmless on their own, but added up, they become a low-level source of stress that hums in the background of your day. That's why habit number 4 is this: give everything in your home a specific, consistent place, and take just 1 minute each morning to make sure things are where they belong. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But you'd be surprised how transformative it can be. Let's start with this idea. Everything you own should have a home. Not just a drawer or a pile, but an intentional place, a spot that never changes. Your keys might live on a small hook by the door. Your reading glasses might rest in a bowl beside your favorite chair. Your pens in a cup on the desk. Your daily medications in a lidded basket by the sink. The magic isn't just in having these homes, it's in honoring them. When you always return things to where they belong, 2 beautiful things happen. First, your home begins to run like a well-oiled machine. You move through it without friction. No more pacing in circles, looking for your phone charger. No more last-minute scrambling to find your hearing aids or grocery list before heading out the door. Second, and maybe more importantly, you build a kind of quiet trust with yourself. You prove to yourself that your environment can support you, that your home doesn't have to be a source of overwhelm, but instead, a place of ease. Now, let's talk about the morning part. After you finish your 5-minute sweep and make your bed, take a few moments to do what I call a peace check. Walk slowly from room to room. You don't have to touch everything. Just look. Is the remote in its tray? Are your keys hanging on the hook? Are yesterday's letters stacked neatly or scattered on the kitchen counter? You're not judging. You're not criticizing yourself. You're simply inviting things to return home, gently, patiently, like a mother calling her children back inside as the sun sets. This habit creates a powerful mental shift. You begin to feel like your home is a partner in your day, not a burden to manage. And especially as we age, when our physical energy may come and go, the gift of having systems that reduce decision-making is something you'll thank yourself for again and again. Remember, your home should serve you, not the other way around. And by giving everything a place, you make that possible. Habit 5. Open a window. Let the world in. There's a kind of sacred stillness in the early morning. Before the traffic picks up, before the television hums, before the phone rings, and in that sacred space, you have a precious opportunity, one that has nothing to do with cleaning or organizing. Habit 5 is simple. Open a window, even if just for a minute. Let the day come to you. Now, why is that important? Because for many of us, especially those who live alone or spend most of our time indoors, the world can begin to feel far away. We seal ourselves inside for warmth, for comfort, for safety. And over time, we unintentionally block out the very things that remind us we're part of something bigger. When you open a window, you invite in something fresh and alive. You reconnect your senses to the present moment. The air feels crisp. The light shifts. You hear a bird's call or the distant sound of a neighbor's dog. Maybe you catch the scent of someone brewing coffee down the block, or the earth waking up after last night's rain. That moment, however brief, is a moment of connection, and it grounds you. It says, the world is still here, and so am I. Even in the colder months, when the breeze is sharp and the sky is gray, I encourage you to crack that window anyway. Wrap yourself in a shawl. Let the chill remind you that you're alive. Let the air clear out yesterday's heaviness, both physically and emotionally. If you like, you can combine this habit with a deep breath. Open the window. Stand close. Inhale slowly. Exhale fully. Let go of anything lingering from the day before. Tension, worry, resentment. Let it all drift out as the fresh air drifts in. You may even want to speak a soft affirmation out loud. Something like, "Today is new. Today 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 is I am open to grace. I am open to calm. That's what this habit really does. It opens you, not just to air, but to life. Habit 6. Clear one surface, completely and mindfully. Some days, even getting out of bed can feel like a triumph. Our joints are stiff, our energy is low, and our minds are already wandering to all the things that need to get done before we've even had our first sip of coffee. At times like these, the idea of tidying the house can feel exhausting, so overwhelming that we don't even know where to begin. That's why habit number 6 is such a lifeline. Clear one surface, just one, completely, and do it with presence, with intention, with care. I know that might sound simple, but let me tell you why this one small act holds so much power. Our homes, over time, collect pieces of us, piles of mail, half-read books, medication bottles, old receipts, coffee mugs, glasses, magazines. They don't arrive all at once. They gather little by little, and while none of it seems like a big deal in the moment, it starts to wear on us. We might not even realize it, but visual clutter creates emotional weight. Every item that's out of place, every stack that's leaning, every dish left out, it's like a whisper in the back of your mind. You haven't dealt with this yet. That whisper becomes a hum, and that hum becomes stress. So here's what I've learned. Instead of trying to clear the whole house, or even the whole room, start with one surface. Not because it's fast or efficient, but because it brings you back to yourself. It might be your bedside table, your kitchen counter, the coffee table in the living room, the top of your dresser. Wherever your eyes land when you walk into a space, that's your invitation. Now clear it completely. Pick up every item and ask yourself, does this belong here? Do I want to see this first thing in the morning? Most often, the answer is no. Put things away gently, as if you're tucking them in. Return objects to their home, or give them one if they don't have one yet. Then, when the surface is empty, wipe it clean. Feel the cloth in your hand. Smell the soap or the wood polish. Take your time. This is not just a task. It's a form of quiet devotion. A gift to your future self. When it's clear, you can choose to place back only one or two things. Maybe a small vase of flowers, a framed photo of your children or grandchildren, a little candle you love, something that feels soft, serene, and meaningful. Then take a breath and stand for a moment in front of that space, not to admire it, but to receive it. Let your eyes rest. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breath deepen. Habit 7. Sit, sip, breathe. Say thank you. Let's end our 7 morning habits with the one that requires the least effort, but offers perhaps the deepest reward. It doesn't involve a broom, or a timer, or a list. It doesn't require organizing drawers or folding laundry. There's no wiping, sweeping, scrubbing, or putting away. All it asks is this: you, present, still, grateful. Habit number 7 is not just a habit. It's a sacred pause. Sit, sip, breathe. Say thank you. That's it. 4 simple actions. Done slowly. Done with intention. Done every morning, before the rest of the day begins to speak loudly. You see, we live in a world that glorifies motion. Even as we age, we carry this belief that a good day is a busy day, that every minute must be filled with tasks, and that if we're not being productive, we're somehow falling behind. But that is not true. Stillness is not laziness. Quiet is not weakness. Rest is not giving up. In fact, rest is often the most radical act of self-respect we can offer ourselves, especially for women who have spent decades giving, caring, fixing, and holding everything together. This habit gives you back a few minutes that belong only to you. Here's how it works. Each morning, find a chair that comforts you. Maybe it's by a window where the light comes through gently. Maybe it's in your kitchen nook or on your porch if the weather's kind. Wrap yourself in something warm. Hold a mug in your hands, tea, coffee, or just warm lemon water. It doesn't matter. What matters is that it's something that soothes you. Now sit. Don't read. Don't scroll. Don't plan. Just be. Feel the warmth of the cup in your hands. Let your shoulders relax. Let your breath slow down and deepen. Let your mind soften, not empty, but soften. You may start to notice sounds you usually ignore. The ticking of a clock, a bird outside, the wind in the trees, the breath moving through your body. And in this space, say softly, "Thank you. Thank you for waking up this morning. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this quiet moment." You don't need to feel profound or inspired. You don't need to force joy or pretend to be grateful for things you're struggling with. Just offer thanks for what is, the now, the warm drink, the light, the quiet. So there you have it, 7 gentle habits that don't require much time or energy, but quietly transform the way your home feels. And more importantly, the way you feel. They're not loud, they're not flashy. They don't demand anything from you other than presence, a few minutes of care, and a little self-compassion. Let's take a moment to remember them. 1. Make your bed with intention. 2. Take 5 minutes after brushing your teeth to gently sweep your space. 3. Put clothes away immediately before later becomes never. 4. Give everything a home and return it there each morning. 5. Open a window. Let the world back in. Clear one surface completely with mindfulness and peace. Chapter 7. Sit. Ip. Breathe. Say thank you. You may not do all 7 tomorrow. That's okay. Start with 1. Maybe the one that tugged at your heart just a little more than the others. Maybe the one that felt like it was written just for you. You don't need to change everything overnight. You don't need a perfect system or a spotless house. What you do need, what we all need, is a little more grace, a little more softness, a little more of you in your own mornings. And these habits, they're just pathways. Ways back to yourself. If this video spoke to you, even in a small way, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which habit are you going to try first? Or maybe you've been doing one of these already, without even realizing how powerful it is. And if you know a dear friend, a sister, or someone you love who might need this kind of gentle reminder, feel free to share this video with them. Sometimes the smallest changes can open the biggest doors. Thank you for spending this time with me today. From my heart to yours, may your mornings be softer, your home feel lighter, and your spirit rest in peace and gratitude. Until next time, take good, gentle care of yourself.